Hello y'all in YouTube, this is Rob from Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today I've got a little review for you on the Asher Knives Spiro. This is the black micarta Asher Knives Spiro. Nice knife that I was able to get in on the drop when he had a release. I was on the list and I got a notification, so I ordered it and I was super excited to be able to get this. This is a great knife, very affordable knife, and really for what you pay and what you get, this is a great knife, I think. I'm definitely going to put this into my affordable, most recommended, and I'll just give you a hint ahead of time. That's how I feel about it because so far I've liked it. I did get a first version of this, and I had some issues with the milling on the steel I would say scales or inserts, or no, not inserts, but I guess there would be the inside scales here. The liners, sorry, the steel liners that were inside. There was not even beveling or grinding out of the place where the cage ceramic washers would rest, and it made a weird noise. But then it also had, I don't know if that was the issue, but it had some issues with getting centered. And so when I contacted Asher Knives, they were able to just replace it immediately. Super fantastic. This is the replacement. I did a re-unboxing of it, and I've been very, very happy with this. So before we talk too much more, let's get into this. But if you like this content and it's something you find of value, would you consider subscribing? I sure would appreciate it. And if you'd hit the like button, it helps me to know that some of this content provides value to you and that you enjoy it, and at least something that you can use or is helpful to you or others. And if you do like this and you want to check me out over on Instagram, I do have an Instagram account at robs_nerdy_knives. That's robs_nerdy_knives. And thank you again for tuning in, and let's get into this. So this is the Asher Knives Spiro knife. It is in black micarta, as you can see, and this is really wonderfully contoured. If you can, I don't know if you can see that, there's a contour on here. So it gives it a really nice feel and grip. And this is nice micarta. I really do like this. I'm not usually typically a big micarta fan, but I do like black micarta. It's probably the one that I don't mind and like a lot. And this one was very nice, actually. Really very, very nice looking. As you can tell already, this is a deep carry clip with a little lip here, so it'd be easy to get on and off. It's a steel clip, so it's pretty strong. It doesn't have a lot of bendability. It's not very stretchy, so it does grip pretty tight. I would have to adjust that a little bit if I wanted to make that a little bit looser. So just so you know, steel doesn't flex as much as titanium. So for that reason, you know, that's maybe a plus or negative, but for the price, I can't complain. If you notice, it's recessed screws, so they're really deep. They're not going to get in your way. Very, very nicely done. It's got a beautiful back spacer here. Definitely a back spacer. These are not standoffs. And it's got a little pin right here for your lanyard. So if you're a big lanyard fan and you want to put a lanyard in there, you can absolutely do that, but it's out of the way and it's not a priority. And the deep carry here is fantastic. Very, very deep. Hardly notice. Again, these are T8s right here and T8 right here. So that's really nice. I really enjoyed that, to see the T8. These are T6s, but you know, that's typical for, you know, your deep carry clip and what have you. The steel, you can probably see it right here. It's S35VN, so it's CPM, it's crucible metals. So it's CPM S35VN. That's a really good steel. Very, very stainless, very tough, easy to sharpen, retains an edge well. I mean, it was one of the older super steels, definitely probably not considered a super steel now, but still a very, very good premium steel, no doubt. Very, very good steel for this knife and this price break, so I really like that a lot. The hardware is black. As you can see, all the screws, everything's black and matches the black micarta. I really like that. And as you can tell, it's very nicely centered, so that's really nice. Pretty thin blade grind, so let's go ahead and just open it up. And as you can see, this looks like it's a, I don't know if this is a spear point or drop point. I don't know, probably spear point because it's coming in together like that. But I do like this blade shape a lot. And it has a fuller, as you can definitely tell, and we'll talk about that fuller in a little bit, but definitely usable fuller. I'll tell you that. It's got a nice little toothy edge there, so you can definitely get your finger on there and use it. Thumb studs for deployment, and it is a liner lock, as you can tell right there. Locks up probably, I'm gonna say, that's probably about 20%. Let's say, yeah, probably about 20% there, maybe 25, 30%, I don't know, 20%, I'll go with that. But it's solid. There's no blade rock. It's in there nice and solid. And when you drop it, it's cage ceramic ball bearing washers. So that's really nice. And I was actually able to put in Skiff cage ceramic ball bearings, which I was really excited about. So they fit really wonderfully. You can look in the description if you want to know what size Skiff ball bearings or washers that I purchased and put in here, because I don't have them handy. I'd have to step away, but they fit really nicely. I believe they are the 5mm and 2.2 inches for the inner diameter, and then yeah. So anyway, I'll post it in the description. The only markings you see on the blade is this AK for Asher Knives on the other side. It's pretty minimal except for the S35VN, so it's not too bad. I mean, this is pretty big, but it's not a terrible logo. I mean, it's definitely got a nice little touch AK with a kind of nice little, I guess you could say wreath or garland or whatever that is, but that's kind of cool. The thumb studs are very nice. They're the Volcano thumb studs, so it's really great for deployment. Easy to reverse flick and to forward flick, so I really like that a lot. And then the fuller, I can get in there. Of course, I'm on camera, so let's do that. Let's do that correctly here, right? Try not to hit the camera, but as you can tell, you can do the flick, and then with the other hand, it's very easy to do as well. Being that's a liner lock, you're not going to have any issues if you're lefty, so very easy to flip and deploy left-handed as well. I like that a lot. I like the fuller a lot. You can actually even do a thumb fuller, I believe. Yeah, I was able to do that before. And I think I can do it in the right hand as well. Let's see here. Yeah, can do that as well there. And you can get the fuller right there and then a reverse flick. So that's really nice. And it locks up pretty solid every time, even when I come up like that. It's pretty locked solid in there. You know, if I'm rolling it up and going into there, it locks right in. So that's nice. What else? Nice, looks like stone washed, which is really nice because that covers up a lot of your, you know, when you use this knife, you won't see a lot of scuff marks and scratches, so that's really nice. This is also chamfered on top here. It's very, very well rounded. It's not really sharp, so if you're trying to ignite a ferrous rod or something like that, it's not going to be super sharp up there. I mean, I think maybe right here it's a little sharp, so I guess if you have a ferrous rod, you can go right there like that with it. So, you know, there you go. But the edge, oh, the edge is nice and sharp. Yeah, I've been using this, and I use a leather strop, and I hone it right up, and it gets that crazy sharp edge back. And you can shave the arm right really nicely with this, because this is just, the steel sharpens well. I think the heat treat must have been done well, because I've had no issues with this. I love the sharp tip point. As you can tell, it's really flat, going all the way down, flat, like a flat grind from right here, coming across, and that's a flat grind all the way down, and it comes to a very sharp thin edge down here. That's nice. It's got a little sharpening choil, which is great, so you have some ability for sharpening. What else? Liner lock, if you notice here, it is kind of, it stands up a little bit. It's displayed. There's no jimping or anything on here, so for some of those people who like that jimping, you'll be disappointed, but I don't mind it because it stands up easily enough, so it's easy just to drop and goes down very nicely. These are steel liners. It's not titanium liners, so they are steel liners. At the price point, what I paid for this one, I believe I paid $109 or something for that. I believe that's what I paid for this one. I can't complain. I really can't complain. A beautiful back spacer, and you know, a deep carry clip like Micarta, dark hardware, cage ceramic ball bearings, CPM S35VN steel, you know, contoured scales. I mean, it's all really great. And if you look inside, I think we can see it. I think, is there any, did they do any milling? No, maybe not. I thought they did a little milling on this one. No, probably not. Yeah, there's no cutout or anything like that going on there. So anyways, really, really nice. I enjoyed this knife a lot. I have had no issues with this so far. So let's go ahead and do some measurements while we're here. So we'll go ahead and weigh the knife first. So let's see what we got. We got 3.8 ounces. So it's 3.8 ounces. All right. So that's not bad. 3.8 ounces for the length of the blade here. We've got, let's see, take a look right here from here to, I'll put it right up here so we can have a little better view. We're going from right here to, so it's about 4¼ inches for the handle, 4¼ inches for the blade. Let's go ahead and do that. The blade itself is going to be probably about 3¼ inches for the blade, and the cutting length, if we do the cutting length, it's going to be about, let's go, probably 3 and I want to say 1/16 or 1/16 maybe. That's what I'm measuring. So 3 1/16, which is nice. It's got a straight, it's not a recurve or anything like that on here, so that is a straight edge all the way across and with a little curve at the very end for the tip. That's why I think it would be more described as a spear point, right? So that's really nice. Good measurements there. Ratios aren't perfect. If you're into ratios, I guess, I mean, that would be a bummer if that was super critical for you. But so let's go ahead and measure this right here. We're going to go ahead and zero that out. All right. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and measure the blade here. All right, so, 0.1000. I have never seen that perfect measurement. That is amazing. That exactly 1/10 of an inch for a blade. Wow. Anyways, okay, so exactly 1/10 of an inch. Perfect measurement. So very thin blade stock, which makes it a really nice slicer. I can tell you that's true. Everything I've cut so far with this has been great. It has a little weight to it because of the steel liners, which I like for something like this, especially with the micarta, which would make it already pretty light. So it balances nicely. I think the weight is definitely going to be probably close to this part right here. Let's see if we can get that right. Yeah, it's going to be right at the curve right here of the grip. So I like the handle. I get 4 full grips. I've got medium large hands. They're large in width and medium in length. So I get 4 full grip on here. I can definitely choke up. It's got a little jimping on top, so you can get a little traction on here. You can definitely do like a precision cut if you need it to, just to kind of cut more delicately. You can choke up, I think, all the way up to here. I wouldn't go past that because then you're getting close to that choil and the little sharp edge right there. But definitely can choke up. So if you needed to, you know, do a really choked up kind of type cut, you can. The blade comes up here to the thumb stub. So if you're going to cut straight down this way, you will hit the thumb studs. But if you're going to be cutting like that, you should be fine, right? What else? So we did the weight, the length, and everything else. This is steel, so it's, like I said, it's not titanium. It's not going to be as flexible. That would be my only kind of a bummer. I wish this was titanium. It'd make this a little bit easier to bend. It's a little tight, so I'm going to have to adjust that probably at some point. But otherwise, I can't complain. This is a great value knife for $109. I mean, this is fantastic. It's a nice looking knife. I like the aesthetics of the knife. I like the feel of the knife. I like the curve. You know, the contoured scales here are really great. It's got a great grip. This clip doesn't really dig into my hand. I don't feel any hot spots or any pinching on my hand. So for me, at least, this is great. And I can definitely choke up, and I can definitely cut back if I needed to. I love the multiple deployment. Wow, forgot how to talk. I love the multiple deployment methods. So reverse flick, front flick, you know, you can even use the front fuller, the reverse fuller, and then you can do all the same with the left hand. I really do like that. So that's really nice. I can also do the, oops, I did it before, the front fuller and then the reverse flick with the fuller. So that's really nice. To me, I enjoy that. So it makes a very fidgety knife, and it does drop shot. And I think it keeps getting smoother and smoother the more I use it, as I think those ball bearings make a track in there. It's gonna just make it just that much nicer and get nicer. So no complaints. Definitely highly recommend this knife. If you have any questions for me, or if there's something I didn't discuss, please let me know in the comments. If there's something you want me to discuss or look into, please let me know in the comments as well. I try to make this a quick overview type of review and how I use it and for what I use it. I'm not a hard use person. I'm a nerd. I'll admit it. I'm an analyst, but you know, I do like to do tactical stuff, and I am into a lot of those things. So yeah, for what I do as far as a job and other things. So, but this is definitely a fun little knife, definitely a beater, something I can take around and not worry about. Whereas, you know, if you have a high-end knife, you got to be a little more careful, maybe carry a 5th pocket knife. This is definitely something I can carry and not worry about. So I definitely like this knife. I was glad I got in on it. Definitely would probably love the titanium scale versions that they have of this as well. But this, man, really nice. Highly recommend it. Check them out. You just have to get on their list, and then they publish when they go for sale, and you jump in there and you try to get in on the sales when they can. And I definitely think it's definitely worthwhile, something to look into. It did take a while before I figured all that out and got in there, but I would recommend that you do that. So again, thank you again for looking, and you all have a great day and a great week, and bye.